Hello everyone, this is Genius Yoshi and today we are building Ariel, Sonic Warrior, Amber Steel Songs, which is one of my personal favorite archetype and one of the strongest archetypes in the metagame that has been living since the first chapter and is still quite strong up to this day. And one of my favorite additions from the latest set is Ariel Sonic Warrior as a 3/8 shifter quest for 2, and whenever you play a song, pay 2 to blast an opponent with 3 points of damage. Very powerful late game song. Powerful card overall. Card that you can ink early, play late, shift, and it just dominates the board. And it turns your Bare Necessities into a destroy your hand and destroy your battlefield. Grab your sword is now a much cleaner board wipe, and the list goes on. It's just a powerful card that I'm really looking forward to playing. Now, as I like to play my Amber Steel decks, I like to play Stitch Rockstar just to make sure that we have a very large influx of cards. And Stitch is very good at that. So with Stitch and Ariel as the centerpieces of the deck, the rest is going to be kind of songs based. So if we're playing the big Ariel, we're going to be playing the small Ariel. Spectacular Singer. I'm going to have to start using that search more. Ariel Spectacular Singer is the best shifting target. I mean, there are other options. I mean, drawing, discarding a card whenever you play a song is okay, but not that great. Singer 7's not overly useful. Our songs stop at 5, so this one that again picks up card advantage is definitely my favorite option. If you haven't guessed, I love card advantage. After playing enough trading card games, it's one of my favorite things because it's just so good. So we're going to be playing the card that's the king of card advantage, and that's a song. That's A Whole New World. Right over here. 3 copies because it's uninkable, and having multiple copies is terrible, but you almost always want at least one. Same with Grab Your Sword. When you're in a pinch, this is your friend. Very powerful song. Gets you out of tough positions. 3 copies because it's not inkable. So what do we have so far? We're going Ariel Stitch. Oh, we're missing the shifting target for Stitch. So we're going to be playing small Stitches as the shifting target. Alright, so that's what we have so far. Now we need some more songs. Let's look what our options are for Sonic Warriors. Classification. The only classification for action is song so far. Alright, so what do I like here? Well, Let the Storm Rage On is fantastic against another uninkable, so we have to be careful because a lot of our songs are uninkable. That's where all our uninkables are going to come from, and we want to keep the rest of our deck inkable as much as possible. We'll also be playing 2 copies of And Then Along Came Zeus, because sometimes 2 points of damage or 3 points of damage just doesn't cut it, and we need lightning type damage. I'm going to cut it at 2 just because we're at 12 uninkables so far, all songs, and that's okay, but I don't want too much more. I'll be playing full playset of Bare Necessities because that's fantastic at taking out Be Prepared's, and it's just general good songs and a good song in a lot of matchups. And we'll be playing Strength from Raging Fire. Again, I want a lot of songs so that Ariel Spectacular Singer can find them, generate that card advantage, and so that Ariel Sonic Warrior can use her ability to trigger that extra point of damage. And these are just very powerful songs. And it brings us, I think, to 20 songs. So we're at 3, 6, 10, 12 plus 8. We're at 20 songs. 20 songs is a good amount. Ariel looks at the top 4 cards, so we expect to hit more than 50% on average, which is what we're looking for. Next thing is, this is a Stitch deck, so we want to have a couple of cheaper cards. We'll be playing, of course, the Ballroom sensation Cinderella, because, well, she allows us to have the infamous Turn 2, Let the Storm Rage On, which is devastating to a lot of decks, a lot of plays. And, well, she allows us to sing these 3 songs in late game. Trigger Stitch, just overall pretty solid inclusion. I do like singers, and now that we are playing with, we're also playing with a couple of, and then along came Zeus. So I want to play a 1 or 2 drop that allows me to sing my 3 and 4 drop songs. And we've gotten an improvement with the latest set in Ursula. If I can find her. There she is. Ursula, Vanessa, which we'll be playing as a full play set. Trigger Stitch, can sing songs, has a lot of willpower, so she's better than Bianca as the 2-2 with the same ability. So it's a nice improvement that I do like. And another 2 drop that's played quite a bit is Mr. Smee. Just has a lot of stats. 3/3 quest for 2 for 2. Just fantastic card in terms of value for the amount of ink you're investing. Also triggers Stitch. Alright. So we're pretty nice in the 1-2 drops. Maybe I'd like one more. We have our 3 drop lineup successfully set up. 4, we could use another 4 drop, and then we have our top end. And as my 4 drop of excellence, since we're going relatively serious with this, I'm going to go for my go-to, Rapunzel. Rapunzel gifted with healing. Did I say I like card advantage? I must have mentioned it maybe sometime. So Rapunzel, fantastic card to include in the deck. In particular, Rapunzel goes well with Mr. Smee, because Smee can force himself to deal some damage, and then you can play Rapunzel, heal it. Especially with the 4 willpower of Vanessa or Ursula Vanessa. You can just heal her if she gets challenged. And with 4 willpower, you can even challenge into bigger characters. Drop Rapunzel, heal for 3, draw 3 cards, find all the stuff you need, and the deck is packed to the brim with removal, as we've seen. And so now I kind of want a 1 or 2 drop, and I want something else at the top of my curve. Then you guessed it, we're going to go with Robins. So Robin Hood allows me to play a very powerful 5 drop, have access to its shifting target, so that we can have the infamous Robin on 1, Robin on 3. I shift and destroy your board, and it's just powerful combination. Also, the small Robin goes well with the Stitch Rockstar. The big Robin is a solid card to ink early on if we have to, and it's a strong just drop it late game. And that gives us a very well put together, I'd say, deck list where we have some nice amount of 1 drops to go with Stitch. We have shifting targets. All of our 1 drops serve a purpose. Either they're singer, shifting targets, or Mr. Smee, just stats, pressure, and allows you to support Rapunzel going well with Vanessa, Rapunzel going well with our high costed targets here. We have tons of removal, tons of card draw, early plays, pressure, strong late game. And that's why I love this deck. It has everything. Now, there's probably 2 cards that you're mentioning. Hey, Yoshi, you should be playing this. The first one is Beast Tragic Hero. And while it is a fantastic card, I am looking for the shifting targets. So the Robin Hood into the bigger Robin Hood, I would favor over here, because I already have a lot of draw engines. I have Rapunzel, I have Whole New World, Stitch Rockstar. I also have Ariel and Let the Storm Rage On. So I don't really need the extra draw. If I was going to include the Tragic Hero, I would probably cut out the Stitch. And if I'm doing that, then maybe I don't need all of those shifting targets. So I can remove the small Stitch and maybe play a little bigger. So play the Beast on 6 and play maybe something else in the 4 or 5 drop slots, just as a bit more pressure. Another option would be the Queen. There's the 1 drop Queen and the 5 drop Queen, but I prefer Robin Hood. I think he's just more oppressive. He has more solid stats. And the queen just feels a little squishy in the current metagame. So I prefer Robin over the queen. I like my Stitch line. That's just how I like to play this list. I won't blame you if you're trying to play Beast, Tragic Hero, and you cut out the Stitch. I think that's fair too, and a solid list. Another option that comes up is Sleepy's Flute. I do not like Sleepy's Flute because it's an item that becomes a liability. I like to put stuff on the board that applies pressure that I can use either defensively or offensively. I like questing with my characters, and I'd rather just have an inkable card instead of the flute. In particular, I'm already heavy enough on the uninkables. Just not a big fan. I know it generates a lot of lore, but sometimes just having that extra pressure on the board will allow you to have a much cleaner victory than having that flute generate a few more inks. At least that's my train of thought, and that's why I'm not including it in the list. Obviously, you've seen a lot of lists playing Sleepy's Flute and get good results. So if that's your jive and your style of play, feel free to substitute something and put it in. But that's my version. I love the Sonic Warriors. And all that remains is to see the deck in action with some games coming right up. We're playing against Amber Ruby. Let's see what our opponent has in store for us. What we have in store for them is Miss Ariel, the Sonic Warrior. And we have one in the hand, but a hand that looks actually pretty good. Just gonna keep this as is. And you get strength for Raging Fire and pass the turn back, setting up the Ursula Ariel tandem. I mean, they're such they're such good friends. Seen parts of the movie and they share a voice. I mean, how much friendlier can you be? There you go, Ursula. Face off against the Damaged by Battle Mulan. Pretty good card. And Damaged Beast. So the opponent is playing the I Am Damaged deck. Mother Gothel coming in. We have the Rapunzels, which go on the flip side of that strategy. We will ink one such Rapunzel. Let's hardcast Bare Necessities. See what you've got. Be prepared. This is a control deck. Ariel, whenever you play a song, gain evasive. Okay. And whenever we play this, heal a character and you may draw a card. Okay, so it's a mini Rapunzel. Mulan, Maui, and Ariel. So here's staying put. I have to check out Juliet Madrigal. 3-drop. Heal and draw. I like that. I'll have to build that deck sometime. Show off what I damage my character / heal them can do. And I need to come up with a better name. That would fit not too well on thumbnail. I need to put it like diagonally or around the picture. Apparently that's frowned upon. Alright, Stitch is going away. Ooh, we have the perfect synergy. You want to play the heal shenanigans. Mother Gothel gets to hurt Ursula, and we get a full heal. Full restore, I guess, is more accurate. Draw 3 cards off of it. That's why I play Rapunzels. It's a question of opportunities. Then it's just such a good card. Maui goes to the ink, and Ariel comes in. I don't need that many Cinderellas, so we're gonna ink one. Now the only card we can actually cast is a Grab Your Sword, which is a little awkward here. I guess Ariel is just a strict upgrade over Stylish Surfer Mini. No, she only quests for 1. Stylish Surfer quest for 2. Never mind, I prefer the Stylish Surfer. Did I just hold to grab your sword? I think I do. Let's quest. Feel bad turn. 5 ink, nothing played. I mean, I can drop a Cinderella. Madrigal to the ink. Opponent sitting on Maui and Mulan. And that's why I should not have... Well, I guess if I was going to quest, I might as well quest with both. Interesting. Opponent ping their own character. Is it up to 2? Or is it exactly 2? Matters not, because we're going to land a Sonic Warrior. And pass the turn back. But I'm curious now. During your turn, this character deals damage. Deal the same amount of damage to up to 2 characters. Alright. Pixelborn control oopsies. It happens. That Mulan's pretty good. She just took out our Rays of Singer with arrows. Oh, that was perfect. That was really the perfect card to pull. Then along came Zeus. We get to play. I can deal 5 to Mulan, ping Ariel for 2. Or we can hard cast it, target Ariel, ping Mulan for 2, then challenge Mulan. Only triggers during your turn, so I think we can do that safely. Just hard damage Ariel. Oh wait, it's 3 damage. Sorry. That is really dumb. I should have lightning bolted the Mulan. Thought it was 2 points of damage. Sorry. Ariel's just better than I thought. Oh, that's the card I'm highlighting. The card's so good, you can misplay and still win. It's better if you don't. But you can. Let's play another one. Again, because we can. Now, does the opponent play any character? No, they play Be Prepared because they've drawn Be Prepared. Oh, that's alright. Let's go for a Stitch Rockstar. And do I want to start now? I'm in no rush. Opponent only has 1 card in hand. Like Battle Cruisers would say, take it slow, make it happen. Then you Yamato cannon them in the face. Heal what has been hurt. Alright, and draw what you can, because you've got a Stitch. Draw, draw, draw. Like there is no tomorrow. Find another Sonic Singer. I think that's good enough for a turn. Go wide on the board, set up some singing. Just don't really want to ink my Sonic Warriors. It's probably the right move to do to reach the 8 ink. So ink something, go to 7, then ink whatever I draw. So I can play an Ariel, sing Let the Storm Rage On, and blow out our opponent. I do need to be careful in terms of card advantage about another Be Prepared. Although a Rapunzel like that can bring the opponent back. Oh, what's this? I don't know what that card does. Zeus embodied warrior, emboldened warrior. +1 for each card in the opponent's hand. Okay, so it's a heavy hitter. I can take it out with a grab your sword, let the storm rage on wombo combo. For now, I think we just want to land a Sonic Warrior. Set up a devastating turn. Yeah. Opponent's committed to the board. A Be Prepared hurts them almost as much as it hurts us. And there's 2 in the discard. Probably don't want to overcommit to the board though. But if the opponent wipes everything, then we Ariel Sonic Warrior. If the opponent doesn't blow up everything, then grab your sword. Ooh, Bare Necessities. Yeah, that hurts. Go and fix out our grab your sword, which I was really counting on. Well, okay, as long as we still have 1 song, we're probably fine. Sure, Lorcana comes in. Opponent at 13. All in, says our opponent, dropping everything on the board. Alright, well, we have pings for days, and this time I will be careful. Note that Ariel pings for 3. So, let the singing begin. Cinderella, let the storm rage on, and take out 2 damage to Sisu. Ariel will deal 3 damage to Lorcana. Now Ariel has 3 power, so she can fight something. One deal the 2 damage to take out Sisu. Ping Rapunzel for 3. Keep on singing. Sisu goes down. Ariel pings. They're both 2 questers. Have 6 combat damage coming. Doesn't really matter. Guess we'll ping the beast. We have 3. Well, Stitch is a 3 quester. We need to begin questing. Opponent can quest for 3, so we'll take out Beast. With the Sonic Warrior, I'll ink a Robin Hood. Start questing a bit. And draw some more cards so we can deal 1.5 tons damage to our opponent, assuming we pick up some songs, which we did not. Sonic Warriors work much better when you can sing stuff. She still has a pretty nice combat stats. So we can quest for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and we quest for lethal next turn. So the opponent can't just quest away. That's the downside of having 1 power combatants on your side of the battlefield. You have to do stuff like this to survive. Take out Cinderella by combat. Mulan comes in, and well, we'll continue to have some fun. Let the storm rage on. Sing it. 2/2. Mulan, take her out. Ariel is going to take out Miss Madrigal. I might as well play another Sonic Warrior, because we can. Rapunzel can stay. I will make it to 18. Be prepared is the only answer, and be prepared is not enough. Maui's just not strong enough even to take out Ariel. Well played indeed. Close games, lots of pings, and I'll let Ariel close it out. She was the MVP of the game and deserved to win. We're playing a mirror match of Amber Steel songs against Amber Steel songs with Sonic Warrior. Let's see what we find. Ariel, Smee, grab your sword. An Ariel, Sonic Warrior. So you have the pair of Ariels, which is pretty good. Keep one strength for Raging Fire. She may be two. We'll ink one. Have a nice turn 2-3 here. And I'll send Stitch back. See if we can find something else. And we do. We find a small Cinderella. And then along came Zeus. Pretty solid hand. I mean, we get turn 1 Cinderella, turn 2 Smee with strength for Raging Fire, if we so desire. With the opponent opening with a Cinderella themselves. Although we don't really need 2 Ariel Sonic Warriors, so we're going to ink 1. My one reservation with playing Cinderella is that the opponent dropped theirs first, and we'd be setting up a target for Let the Storm Rage On. I think I just want to skip it. Yeah, ink Cinderella. Well, it's better when you try to ink something when you haven't inked something before. Oops. I guess we're going with the second line, playing Cinderella. And that's why I didn't want to do it. Let the Storm Rage On. Should have kept it in hand and just passed the turn. Opponent goes after the queen, and as we find our own copy of Let the Storm Rage On. Ink strength for Raging Fire and land Mr. Smee. As we'll pass the turn to our opponent. Our bubbling mate on the battlefield. Ooh, opponent is serious, shifting the queen on top of the queen. And singing then along came Zeus. Apparently Zeus not a big fan of pirates. Find another Ariel Sonic Warrior. We do have 2 nice songs. We're gonna ink strength for Raging Fire. Land the Spectacular Singer. A yummy song. Not sure why I'm hesitating. I can only pick the Let the Storm Rage On off of this. Ariel Spectacular Singer doing some great singing and great work since the first set. An opponent destroys our plan to try out Ariel this game, as we now have 2 copies in the discard and 1 copy well hidden in our ink pile. Let the Storm Rage On. Free songs for days seems to be what our opponent wants to do. Bare Necessities is going to pick up our Grab Your Sword. Then a Robin. Alright, well, we don't need 3 Ursulas. Let's start there. I do like Ariel Cinderella. Let's see what we can find. That's interesting. Not that big a fan of my hand. So I could pick up a whole new world, or I can pick up and then along came Zeus, take out that queen. pick up the removal and sing it. Goodbye, Queen. Play our Cinderella and pass the turn back. I'm guessing for this deck it'd be better if it was. And then along came Triton! Chose a Triton instead of a big bolt of lightning. I will have to manage with what we have. And what we have is a picture of Zeus and Muses. If that amuses you. Robin and Cindy on the board. Opponent outcarding us. 5-4. 3 in the ink. Very similar board. I'd say the game's about even at this point. Opponent inks a great Criminal Mind because we're not playing very big characters in this deck. High willpower, not high power. Going through so many cards as we just keep on singing. Opponent trades Robin for our already damaged Ariel. And a hard cast to Zeus. We now have a face-off of Cinderella versus Cinderella. So we'll ink an Ursula. Land an Ursula. And hold up the removal. Cinderella is not as scary as we're going into the bigger amounts of ink. Rapunzel. Always a strong play. Opponent hard casts a queen. Do I go for a song? Ooh. Do I go for a song? Or do I go with Stitch? Stitch feels good. And I want the card off of Mr. Smee. So we're going to unfortunately ink our little Ariel over there. Land the rock star. And then we have enough to Strength for Raging Fire. Doesn't really matter who sings. Let's sing it with Ursula. Sounds a bit more creepy. Hopefully we can creep out our opponent with the song. It's one of the reasons why we're playing Ursula in the deck. Just you have Ariel's beautiful voice, and then you have Ursula's just ominous. Well, although she steals Ariel's voice, so we have Ursula using Ariel's voice again. Let the storm rage on, takes out our Cinderella, and the opponent responds with an Ursula of their own. Popular choice. Ursula. Just a casual singer 4. Find another Stitch. Now we can't make good use of the double Stitch, so we're gonna go with Smee and pick up a card. Ooh, Robin. That is quite tempting. Just landing a Robin. Let's go for that. Robin Hood. And I don't overly care about our opponent's board presence, so we're gonna quest. Smee takes some damage. Drink less. Challenge more. That's what you should do, Mr. Smee. Ooh, and the opponent plays it. Ariel, Sonic Warrior. Card we want to play. Apparently our opponent's playing almost an exact copy of our deck. It's a good list. What can I say? 3/8. Whenever you play a song, pay 2, and the opponent has 2 at their disposal. To ping something for 3. Do you have the song? That's the question. Opponent goes to Quest with the Sonic Warrior. Oh, it goes to Quest with Squad, actually. So we find a small stitch, which will allow us to pick up a card. Hopefully our opponent's not holding back a Grab Your Sword. Well, Mr. Smee, I want to trade with something. Sonic Warrior is really what scares me the most. I don't have good numbers to fight her. Robin can take out Cinderella, or we can team up and take out Ursula. I think I just want to take out the free hit on Cinderella, which gives us some lore, and go to race mostly, threatening lethal for next turn. Unless our opponent has a Grab Your Sword, which is almost specifically what the opponent needs. We're pretty wide at this point. It's 14-5. We have 3, 4, 5. An opponent needs to get rid of whatever else we have. Whole new world. All right. That takes your singer for the turn. Ariel triggers. Opponent pings Robin Hood. Then along came Zeus. Maybe I should have taken out Ursula. That's a lot of damage. Let the storm rage on. Smee goes down. Alright. Well then. What do we do here? Well, we want to land our Sonic Warrior. Almost for sure. Although I don't need a pair of Bare Necessities. Maybe I want one just to check what our opponent has, so we can play around it, because we can quest for 3, go to 17. Let's see what our opponent has. Strengths of a Raging Fire in a Whole New World. Don't want a Whole New World. So there's a pair of Strength of a Raging Fire, which are problematic if our opponent has a bunch of characters. So let's get rid of Ursula. Let's thin out our opponent's characters. Now I have 5. I can land a Robin. Robin's pretty nice. I can sing another Bare Necessities or just hold it for next turn. Well, let's invest a bit more into ink. Drop our Ariel Sonic Warrior and go closer to victory. Let's see what the opponent does about that. Pair of a Strength of a Raging Fire with only one singer on board. If the opponent can amass enough characters, it can still deal considerable damage. Also have Rapunzel to heal Ariel if we need to. It's an interesting game. this point, our opponent's problem is we're just so far ahead on ink, on lore, it's hard to come back. Opponent goes for the multi-strength for Raging Fire to take out our Sonic Singer. As the turn passes back to us. Alright, well, if that's the way you want to play it, let's thought seize you. Move whatever you've got left. There's an Ariel there. That could be problematic. But we're going to make do with what we have. Find our own copy of A Whole New World, which is threatening in itself. And a Robin Hood. That's enough. Should close out the game. Opponent needs quite a bit. Starting with Grab Your Sword. Which you can find off of Ariel. No, they didn't. No hit or a misclick based on the oops. Well, that was a good game, regardless. Ariel quests to 7, and we get to close it out. With little new dogs just casually gaining some lore. Pick up an Ursula and let Ursula sing us to victory as we take the game 20-7. We're playing against Emerald Amethyst. Our Amber Steel songs. Alright, we have a Cinderella Let the Storm Rage On Wombo combo. Too many stitches, then we don't need to grab your sword this early in the game. We'll keep Strength for Raging Fire as an inkable that we can use to do stuff. Find a couple of 1-drops. Ink Robin. Land Miss Cinderella. As we'll pass the turn back to our opponent. Cinderella, one of the all-stars of Into the Floodborns, Rise of the Floodborns. Opponent plays Churnbox Follower, which is an instant target for card advantage. I think the Strength for Raging Fire, we don't need that much, and might as well land a Stitch. Got Daddy Stitch in hand. So let's set up for our turn 4 Stitch. Ooh, Jafar. Jafar's fun. Well, when he's on your side. Ooh. Ursula Denier of Songs comes in. I'll probably take out our Bare Necessities. As we're gonna ink Strength for Raging Fire, I think. Let's. I want to land Ariel. Yeah, let's ink Strength for Raging Fire. See if we can find a replacement song. Then along came Zeus. The opponent is no threat to us. As we pass the turn back. Spectacular Singer doing some spectacular singing. Just the way we like it. Until the opponent plays another 2-drop Ursula. At least we have an answer for the 3-drop Ursula, the deceiver of all, receiver of lightning bolts to the face. Opponent plays Kit. Kit gets to bounce one of our characters, decides to send back Stitch. That's acceptable. Ursula's trait blows slightly. Now we get to shift our big Ariel if we want to. Or we can go to combat, hit the smaller Ursula. I mean, this deck does have a lot of bouncy shenanigans. Not that much targeted removal outside of bounciness. So maybe I just ink stitch, play Ariel, sing and ping. Is this a sing and ping situation? I think I'd like to have some damage on Ariel and use Rapunzel. I kind of want to keep, and then along came Zeus for a better opportunity. So we'll just develop our board at this time. Find another Ariel. We will take that. It's our lack of songs that's a bit problematic for the Singers of Doom, Sonic Singers. I mean, Ariel, Sonic, the Sonic singer. I mean, she must go da 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 da. Sing Sonic songs all day. Fringe John. Well, Fringe John would have been a problem had we not top deck into the perfect card. I'll take the top deck. Let's shift Ariel and sing Grab Your Swords. Nuke our opponent's board. Goodbye. And guess I'm gonna ink Big Stitch. Feels bad to do that, but I feel like a double Sonic singer singing in harmony. I know they're Sonic Warriors, but they're singing. Swordly singers would be, I guess, the opposite of Sonic Warrior. Although it would have to be like a Sonic reference that's a weapon. And then I'm overthinking this. Hypnotized. Yes, that's exactly what I was. Hypnotized, trying to make the joke work. We don't talk about Bruno. Opponent bounces back a pair of Ariels. Then we get forced to discard at random the small Ariel. Alright. We'll keep one of each. Ariel comes back. We just got Bruno'd. We can't talk about that. Yeah, I'm guessing the Bruno jokes are starting to get lame. Or what's that thing? Lime. Yes, they're starting to get lime because the card is green. Kit's gonna bounce back Rapunzel because our opponent wants to give us more card advantage. Why not? Let's take them on their offer. Rapunzel comes back. Find a small Robin. Let's play Ursula. One doesn't have any good board wipes, as they know that too, and decide to resign the game in the face of Ariel, the Sonic Spectacular Singer. We are playing against Emerald Steel using our Sonic Warrior deck. As we find Smee, Hood, Bare Necessities, a pair of Cinderellas to go with that, which is a bit too heavy on the early game. So I'll send two back. Pick up a Rockstar and a Rapunzel. Helps to diversify our hand a little bit. On the draw. Pegasus. And Diablo. Okay. So opponent's planning on shifting the big Diablo. Let's highlight that little one. Just a little 1-2. When you play it, look at our hand. Okay. That's a fine ability. Don't really need that second Ariel for now. To the ink. But we will land Cinderella of Doom. That's really what our opponent wants to play. The Devoted Herald. Ba-boom. Steel comes in, takes down our princess before she gets to go to the ball and show off her pretty dress. It's a shame, really. And we finally let the storm rage on, which would have been perfect. I'm not overly attached to that Robin Hood right now. As we'll land Mr. Smee, applying some level of pressure. Smee's also pretty nice with Rapunzel. We can force some damage on it. Ursula, deceiver of all. Well, if that's how you're going to play, we're going to sing Bare Necessities and take out whatever song you've planned. No storm for you. I'll have none of that. Stitch can go away. I'll play our spectacular singer. Ooh, strength for raging fire. I like that. Bare Necessities. There are times when it's a good card, there are times when it's a bad card, and there are times like this where it saves you. And then it's worth its weight in gold, as is described by the color of the card. Gold for its value, not for the bananas. Although you should go bananas over it. Alright. What do we do here? We can shift the Sonic Warrior, but then we can't do very much off of it. Or we can play Cinderella, sing Strength for Raging Fire, take out Ursula, sing Let the Storm Rage On, take out Diablo, and leave our opponent with very little options. Actually, let's start with this. No, we can't. We can't double sing. Oh well. Too late. Smee can't sing. Alright, well, Ariel's gonna sing. We're gonna take out Diablo. That was gonna happen anyways. Don't really need Robin right now. I guess I'll just go for the slower, pick up a card off of Rapunzel and Smee. Then I'll pass turn back. Need just a bit more ink for a Sonic Warrior to be effective. As the beast comes in. A tragic, tragic hero. That's Word of Fortune. No, I can't take it out. I probably should. Tragic hero, 5 power, 5 willpower. Draws way too many cards, so we're gonna shift an Ariel. Oh wait, that doesn't add a character in play. Alright, well, still gonna sing Strength for Raging Fire. Sing it off of Rapunzel. Prevent the card draw. Yeah, really not the best. Smee can quest, and we'll let Ariel just stay there. Alright, and Cinderella. Why not? Yeah, for some reason I thought shift Ariel, play Cinderella, we'll have 5 characters, we can take it out, but shifting doesn't add a character. That's what happens when you try to plan too many things, although that wasn't that many things. When you try to plan a lot of things, in your head it all makes sense, and then you're like, haha. I won't double check, I'm just going to play it. Guess it's a double cast. Thanks to the deceiver of all. And Beast gets a very nice hit on Rapunzel. Decides not to. Alright, well, this is going to be very good for us. We get a Singlet the Storm Rage on, thanks to Miss Rapunzel. Goodbye, Beast. And Ariel can take out Ursula. Might as well wipe out the board. Oh, we can pass the turn off of that. Let's reach 6. 6 sync. So we're ready for more Sonic Warriors or Stitches. Opponent drops a Pegasus. Pegasus won't do very much. There's no reason for me to play a whole new world, even though I would get a free, well, a 2 ink ping from Ariel. We're just too far ahead. Let's not give our opponent any opportunity. Opponent's going to take out our opportunity, and that's okay. Then along came Zeus. Again, I don't really see a reason to play that right now. Ba-boom. Even challenging Ariel, the 8 willpower is too much. And we take the win. We're playing against Emerald Steel. And we find Cinderella, Stitch, a bunch of uninkable songs, too many for my liking. I'm gonna send most of them back. Don't really need the Stitch either. But Cinderella, Ariel, and Let the Storm Rage On feel like what we won in our opener. As we find an Ariel Sonic Singer. Pair of Whole New Worlds. Not quite what I want to see. Since I am going to throw my hand fairly early, let's ink the big Stitch. It's unlikely to see play. Opponent goes Robin with the Diablo on battlefield. Maleficent Spy. Oh, an opponent shifts already. That's a heavy investment. Opponent discards an action, plays the 1-drop, plays the Diablo on top. Opponent's already down 2 cards. Now picks up a card off of Diablo. But especially on turn 2 like that, against Cinderella, you're just Let the Storm Rage On away from getting blown to smithereens. Although we do draw a card off of the action, so opponent picks up an extra card off of Diablo. That is quite a nice little synergy happening there. And we'll play our own copy of Robin Hood. Opponent picks up probably, and then along came Zeus, since picking off a Whole New World doesn't do very much. Another Diablo comes in. Although, it's you may draw a card. It would have been funny if it was you have to draw a card, then we can multi a Whole New World and try to mill our opponent. That would be kind of fun. But for now, it's going to be Spectacular Singer, finding us an inkable for next turn, mostly. Don't overly care about that Robin Hood. I do want to keep the character alive though, so I'll pass on the questing for now. Hans. Really like that card. Hard-casted Diablo this time. Then opponent goes to quest. So we find another Robin. This one will go to discard. Shift Ariel. And if the opponent finds a big robin, it's okay. I don't care too much about a big robin. Opponent trades robins. Then what do you have? The Diablo that draws cards. Kind of Bare Necessities you there. Hard cast. Take out Pack Tactics. Ariel triggers. I'll take out Diablo. Ink bit. Then I can let the Sonic Warrior do her stuff. Tinkerbell comes in. Now it's Tinkerbell versus Ariel. Well, I don't care about Tinkerbell. I've got willpower 4 days. Oh, Bucky. That's interesting. Rapunzel can give us some card draw. Let's go after that. Find another Ariel. Cinderella I don't care about so much at this point. Then we can value quest. Another Diablo comes in. Let's discard one of our whole new worlds. Stitch. Stitch can go to the ink. Opponent doesn't have good damage spells. Or good removal, I should say. There's no Be Prepared or... All the mass removal is damage based. Unless it's like the King of Atlantis. So, dropping 3/8 against a steel opponent is pretty hard to remove. So you take the win, making use of Ariel's Sonic Warrior yet again. I hope that you've enjoyed the games. I've certainly had a lot of fun playing with the Sonic Warrior, and this Amber Steel Song again is one of my personal favorite deck. And in terms of how good the deck is fantastic. The deck is good enough for tournaments. Actually, if I had to bring a deck to a tournament, I would bring Sonic Warriors if I had all the cards. I think the deck is very solid. The deck has a constant flow of cards. The deck has removal, pressure. The deck has some combo-ish elements. You have a card like Mr. Smee that's just solid on its own. That goes well with Rapunzel, goes well with Stitch. Rapunzel goes well with Stitch. Stitch goes well with a guitar. And you have all of these nice synergistic things between the cards that makes the deck feel smooth. And that's what you're looking for. Smooth deck, lots of card draw, lots of removal, solid late game. This deck has it all. And I just love playing it. I hope that you've had as much fun watching the game as I've had playing them. Let me know in comments below the deck that you'd like to see me build next, or just a card that you'd like me to see me build around from Ursula's Return. And I'm looking forward to hearing about all of your suggestions and trying to build something around those, either a theme or a card or a restriction, anything you like, and I'll pick up some of those ideas for one of my future videos. I hope that you've had a great time. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up, leave a comment, and I will see you next time.